Detach from the body, considering myself to be a point of light seated on the throne of the center of forehead, emerging the quality of peace and love, and I have regained the memory of my final stage at the confluence age. The foundation of the Brahmin life is purity, and when we are able to have purity of thoughts, purity of words and actions, I become transparent, altruistic, and free from all the bondages of the desires. This brings lightness, so a point of light, and the lightness makes me double light, and this transparent image of light is the image of an angel. I sustain this image of an angel, very transparent, clean heart, pure mind, and very pure feelings towards everyone. So, with each pure thought, I can reach anywhere and become bestower, share the light and Baba's power to help souls to become free from all obstacles. I do what I have to do, cooperate, help, bestow, and then just be free. No expectations, no subtle bondage. Because angel has unlimited attitude. Angel stays free to serve the whole world. Baba wants children to be in angelic stage so that Baba, through the angels, help all the souls of the world. So I always keep myself detached and free, but also remain full from Baba's all powers. So now, for a few moments, looking at our angelic Baba, we also serve. Let Baba use me as a messenger, as a bestower, so that Baba's task of bringing liberation to all the souls can be accomplished. We take Dhristi from Baba
Shanti. Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today is day 19, pilgrimage of remembrance. Mohini Didi will speak now.
whenever Baba asks us to become angel, like today's angelic day we are celebrating, then where do we look at? We will look at Brahma Baba, because looking at Brahma Baba, we become clear what is the angelic stage. I didn't see Brahma Baba when Shiv Baba entered for many, many years. But in 1958, when I came in contact and I saw Brahma Baba, actually I knew Brahma Baba since 1951. But in 58, I went to Madhuban, and Brahma Baba heard that I get some visions and little bit of trance experience. So Baba wanted to see, and so I have shared this many times that Baba called me early morning, and I was in Baba's room, and Baba gave Drishti. Then I went to subtle regions. I went in trance. So before I went, Baba said, when you see Brahma there, then you come back and tell me what is the difference between my light and light there. Because that up there in subtle regions is my perfect image. And so this is one thing we all have to look into, that we all have our stage of perfection in subtle regions. So that means how bright the light is and how light is spreading. One can see it clearly. So when I came back and I told Baba that yes, there was difference in the light between what I see here and what I see in the subtle regions. So that means each one of us, we have our perfect stage, and that perfect stage in the subtle regions. So that is one thing, but also like the changes, the transformation which was happening in Brahma Baba. One thing which we noticed that Brahma Baba had enthusiasm, and he will take interest in everything. When I say everything, not in a logic way. He will go to the kitchen, he will take interest in garden, and he will walk around, give directions for everything. So it's not that because I am becoming aware, so don't ask me this or I will not do this. No, Baba took interest in everything. But while taking interest, he was also getting more and more detached. One is detached, but other is like he was doing it, but deeply within, I call it more. There was also renunciation, more tapasya. It's quite a balance where, uh, because if you are instrument for Baba's task, mm, like a householder in the family, has to take care of everything, has to take interest. So this spiritual family is Baba's household, right? Or for me, it's like a big household. Not only that, but every little thing, you have to share responsibility, you have to participate. So that means your intellect is being used in this physical world. But while doing all that, how internally, uh, being on the pilgrimage of remembrance, our stage goes more into seeing but not seeing, hearing but not hearing, because, you know, certain things happen which could be, suddenly scenes of drama. So I saw myself that Baba will be walking around in kitchen. After lunch, he will just go around and see everything, but he won't say anything. He was very, very much into perfection, because when the soul is becoming perfect, there is this eye of seeing everything in perfect way. Like Dadi Janki, I noticed she will tell once she goes in the room, mm, everything should be in a proper place, clean. Even if she sees like we have meeting finished, but we had snacks in between, so plates are there. or our soup cups are there. So as soon as she comes, first thing she will say, remove this, huh? Remove this. Like she will keep saying it. So she wants to see everything clean and perfect and organized because internally, if you are organized, if you are clean, that's what you would want to see. So they were accurate and their expectation, like everything should be clean and perfect. And also with Brahma Baba, even Dadi Janki, activeness. mm, Because when you are spiritually awakened, you will be active. And if you find you are sluggish, you are slow, you get stuck, that means somewhere deeply you are not awakened fully. There's something which is blocking your energy. Otherwise, you should be very prompt, you should be very clear, you know, what at the right time, right things will be done. Brahma Baba was so much into not only accuracy, but also everything done, not slowly. It's like, okay, I do it as if, I'm doing it forcefully, but Baba will want. So one time, Baba was asking the sister who was assisting Baba all the time to get something. There was some guest, and Baba asked her to bring this. And she was going. Baba said, fast, fast, fast. So one day someone said, Baba likes us to be like electricity. The way electricity move, come back. And so it was like when there is full awakening of the energy, mm, then everything works in a fast way. But then on the other side, when we sit, then our mind has to be very calm, very peaceful. It's quite a good balance, right? You have to be active very fast, keep doing it. And then when you sit, mm, two very beautiful words came in my mind yesterday. In Hindi, we call it sthirman. Sthirman is very still mind. Mm. And intellect should be ekagra. That means very quickly connected with one. Now, intellect is going in doing things. If you have a big conference, you will have to plan, right? But then, how to keep intellect still free that it can be pulled to Baba within 1 second? With your mind also, you are creating many things, and then mind has to be still. It's like from very beginning, while doing seva, while being busy in service, Brahma Baba, Dadis kept that aim that we are doing service, but internally, I have to reach to that stage. And as I said, that when Baba liked children to be fully blossomed, Baba says that everyone come as birds and they blossom, like sunflower. And if Baba doesn't see blossom, then Baba says something is obstructing. There is some obstacle is there. So awakening, active, fast, efficient, but on other side mind becoming more calm, quiet, and intellect becoming more pulled towards Baba. So it's this kind of balance which I saw Brahma Baba's life and what he liked. And of course, Dadis also were able to perform that way. I was there too, and I remember that Baba will send a message or telegram. Tomorrow evening, you have to reach Madhuban because a group of journalists are coming. Okay, tomorrow you reach Madhuban because this governor is coming. And I will say, no, you don't get reservations in train. And it's not those days we travel in first class, or we all travel in, now they don't have third class. They have second and first, but third class. So I remember just packing a small bag and then just without reservation, You just go and wherever, whichever corner you see empty, you just go and sit there. And many times I went there whole night sitting. And when I reached there, then Baba said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm feeling okay." Because same evening there was some program. And Baba said, "Oh, so it's very good you travel and you still feel okay." So Baba gave me blessing. That means I never had travel sickness. Whether it is train, whether it is plane, whether it is car, I feel fine. So like Jagdish Bhai got this blessing of writing, and Baba gave me blessing that, child, it will always be like that. So like on one side, Baba wanted us to be very prompt and reach anywhere, Baba says. Even if once or twice we say, "Baba, you have to tell us in advance so that we can do booking." Mm. I don't think I ever said it, because Baba is saying it, let's do it. So what I'm saying, on one side, so much involvement, so much activeness, but one is able to do this only because you are going higher and higher. It's not physical energy which makes you do that, but it is spiritually, when your energy is changing or you are becoming lighter and lighter, so then you are able to accomplish it. So to be angel really here doesn't mean I sit and say, "No, I'm light, so I won't do anything," or someone says, "No, it's not of my interest." Mm. I know that Ramesh Bhai, mm, his body was not really well towards the end. And he was Baba's lawyer, accountant child. And everyone will consult because he was so honest and he knew so much. All the laws will change. 2 days before he left body, there was some things with the local currency, and he was advising. They went to Ramesh Bhai, what should we do? So now he is becoming perfect, but still he is advising on finances. Because this Baba's yagya, Baba's task. But if intellect is pulled towards business, is different, right? And that is why for business, if you ask him, very good, very brilliant, but also he took care of business in such a way that if he's not there, like he's traveling and another case is coming, he prepared for that in advance because he was quite smart. So he was like well advanced, prepared for his task on one way, but also his own personal finances. Like his intellect was free, it belongs to Baba. Whatever direction Baba will give, that's what I will do. And you know that he was in family and he wanted to stop working and just surrender. And then Baba will immediately say, Dadis will say, no, just work little bit more. Because of course he was in Bombay, he had his standard to live, and so when you are earning income, it becomes easy. So what I'm saying, while doing everything in Lokik way, we should just become trusty, sort out everything. But for a Lokik service, godly service, until now, mm, physically you cannot do. But if there is a lot of experience, then everyone will consult you what to do about this. What about, like I'm giving example that on one side, it's like you really go beyond, and I don't want even two extra thoughts to be wasted anywhere. But then on other side, mm, I'm talking to sisters that in Manhattan they have small apartment, but center is quite big, busy. Lot of souls go, and sister there does lot of service. So I said, well, now uh, properties are really very cheap there because People are moving out of Manhattan. So you all should get something so that it becomes permanent. Then how long you all will keep paying the rent, and because one sister works, one doesn't. So what I'm saying, you have to do things at the right time, right things. But internally very free. So becoming awake or becoming angelic is inwards journey, but you are still a karma yogi, right? Not maybe through body, then through words, or right time, the right thoughts come in your mind for Baba's task, and you get it accomplished. So angelic stage really is something which is a very deep balance between internally being detached, but externally also doing karma yoga. Baba took interest in garden. He will go with the gardener until and he will. One time they were digging a well and water was not coming. So Baba, there was still ladder, and Baba just went down. So the engineer said, Baba, you're not supposed to go. He said, no, I wanted to see. So he was active, very active until end. Until last day, he was very active. But as I said, internally, he was flying high and also becoming uh, perfect, and his light was increasing because of elevated actions, but also remembrance of Baba helped the soul to burn all the sanskars and from the past, and always maintain good wishes and pure feelings. So this is how angelic day can be, an angelic stage can be. And I think we all can make it. Om Shanti.
Did you all experience your beautiful angelic form? Did you experience Baba opening his arms and dearly waiting for us? It's the land of angels. Every Saturday, we celebrate our Subtle Region Day. Welcome to Subtle Region. Oh, don't forget to bring a picture of an angel during our angelic dance.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti journey. So yes, today is Saturday's interview day and we have special guest today. But before I invite our guest to take Didi's interview, we will watch our homework for tomorrow. So let's see our homework.
By becoming Avyakt and bodiless, let's experience this Swamat. I am colored by God's color, and I'm becoming equal to the Father.
Om Shanti. Yes, this is our homework for tomorrow. I am colored by God's company. I am equal to the Father. So that's what we will practice tomorrow. And now here we go. We have Gayatri with us, and she will be taking interview. She's a very, very senior sister. When Mohini Didi started living in New York, Gayatri was with her from the beginning. So from Queens Center. So right now she is in Queens. And welcome, Gayatri.
Hello, Bhumi. Thank you. And it is indeed a pleasure for me to be interviewing Sister Mohini tonight. And I hope my questions are going to be very unusual questions, but not so unusual that I'm putting Sister Mohini in a corner to answer them. Because as you said, that I've been with Sister Mohini from the beginning of service in New York, but I've been with Sister Mohini even before then. I was with her in Guyana. So I know Sister Mohini, I think, in a very special way, even though I'm saying that myself. So I want to ask Sister Mohini some questions that, or have a conversation with her that would perhaps reveal aspects about herself in relation to this whole domain of the Avyakti, both in terms of the self and the form, which means the stage of being Avyakti and the form of being angelic. So, Sister Mohini, my first question to you is about that first drishti that you had from Baba. You know, it is said that the soul, when the soul experiences that first Avyak drishti, that first drishti from Baba, something magical happens in the soul. And it is as if that love, that Avyak love that the soul experiences opens a whole new life in that soul and a whole new world in that soul. So tell us about that first drishti that you had from Baba, from Brahma Baba, of course, but Bap Dada, that really opened your soul to a whole new life and to a whole new world. It is just like you fell in love. How did that feel?
I met Baba in Madhuban, and those days when we will reach, we will take shower. And in History Hall, on the floor, there will be two cotton cushions, and Baba and Mama will come and sit, and then they will give drishti. So when Baba gave me drishti, I just felt what is purity. I am pure soul, complete purity, as if there's nothing from the past, no sinful, nothing, just complete purity. And it's like I belong to Baba and I'm completely pure and just free from body, bodiless stage. At that time, I didn't know even what is bodiless stage, but I felt there is no body. I'm soul, I am pure, and I belong to Baba. So that was very, very intense. And after that, of course, the journey begins towards becoming completely pure.
Did this purity have any kind of physical reactions in you, like your heart started palpitating, or you were saying, oh my gosh, what is happening to me? Or was it a calm and cooling kind of purity? Was it an Avyakt purity that you experienced, or was it a purity that you experienced through your senses?
I, when I said bodiless, so there was no extra palpitation or anything, but it was just soul and body, separate. And I am soul, I am pure. So that's really the bodiless, is that, that drishti just, I feel it is more like that will be my final stage. I can think of when you're saying it, that's what I think my last final stage will be, that I am a pure soul and I am kind of merged in Baba. I am pure soul, I am merged in Baba. And with that purity, naturally there was calmness and quiet and, free from thoughts completely.
That's very interesting, Sister Mohini. So you really experienced your final stage in that drishti of love that you experienced from Baba. So it was as if it was your first and your final in that one moment.
With each one of you, if you think and try to regain your memory, maybe when you all took drishti from Baba, there might have been that experience. But as you are asking me, I am regaining that memory and Simriti is coming. And I could feel it actually even at this moment, that the experience which I had in my first meeting with Baba.
Great. So, Sister Mohini, I want to expand a little bit on this whole concept of Avyakt love. In Baba 69 Murli, he said that we have to learn the lesson of Avyakt love. And then he asks us the question, what is Avyakt love? And Baba then went on to say that Avyakt love gives the power to the pilgrimage of remembrance, and Avyakt love helps us in creating the Avyakt stage. Could you describe that Avyakt love that you felt and expand on that purity that you felt that helped you on your pilgrimage of remembrance in particular?
Age or experience one can have is when there is this Avyakt love you experience from Baba, then you go beyond everything. Nothing really matters, nothing bothers. Like it takes you beyond. And when you go beyond that, you know, it's just that closeness to Baba which is experienced by going beyond as soon as there is this love. And as if you feel so full, so complete, as if you don't need anything. It's just like make you free, completely free from all the desires. So I think that freedom which gets experienced and takes us beyond also.
Sister Mohini, how will this Avyakt love be expressed in relationships with others? Okay, if I'm experiencing the Avyakt love on the pilgrimage of remembrance, then I go beyond. But when it comes for that experience in between, between Brahmins, for instance, how will this experience, how will I know I'm experiencing Avyakt love as opposed to a natural human love?
I think that, I can talk of Baba, but you all have most of you have met Dadi Prakash Mani. Now, Dadi Prakash Mani's love, you just could feel like sunshine and unlimited and very like embracing. And so, because her love was naturally a Vyakt love. And Avyakti love, in other words, that she always looked at us in a natural way as souls. And then her love was overflowing. And she didn't think that she has to give love or she has to, but she was embodiment of that love. And when you are in embodiment of love, you don't have to talk about spirituality. You just talk about relationship. Okay, you all have come from foreign countries. I want to extend hospitality. I want to, so when I go, what you all don't make, what we should make for you. Now, some people might say, this is all that is love was. But it's so interesting that when you are embodiment of Avyakt love, you don't have to like, okay, now I have to give you Avyakti love, but the care which is there from the heart and love which is shown as support and as being there. And also, I remember with Dadi Prakash Mani, she always like, recently there was some discussion which I want to explore more, that people think they have to say yes to everything to the instrument. But even if I said yes, but then Dadi Prakash Mani will still ask me, what do you think? What you feel? So she helped me to develop power to discern. Like I went from Guyana. So we were walking in the courtyard and I said, Dadi, it's very far. Maybe someone else can go. She said, okay, that's fine. You suggest who could go. So after a few days, then again we were walking. And then I said, Daddy, I will go back another year. And then after that, we can change. So I realized I never forget that, because she could have said, do this. No, you have to go. Say yes to it. So even if I will accept what Daddy will say. She knew that I will go if Daddy says. But then she allowed me to think for myself, so that when I'm going, oh, Daddy told me to go, that's why I'm going. But I also internally thought about it, and then we agreed, both of us. And since then, I've learned that to use it in my all relationships with the juniors, with everyone. Some don't understand, and they say, why don't you just tell us what I have to do? I said, you have to think, no? Like when it's time for Madhuban, I ask everyone, when would you want to go? But I could also plan everyone's program, say, you go here, you go. But no, when they tell me, then I say, okay, maybe this is the best thing. So somewhere saying yes is partnership. Saying yes is not like, okay, I said yes. And then I keep thinking, oh, because I said yes, maybe I shouldn't have. Or I am forcefully accepting that direction. It's a very subtle thing. So, what I'm thinking in Avyakt love, upliftment, and helping the soul, like Baba says in Morley, that within Brahmin family, what you do is cooperation. You don't donate anything, because you don't donate to Brahmins, but you cooperate. So I think this Avyakti love is expressed in practical. You don't have to express that love, but there's so much care of minute details when we go, taken care of, do everything for that soul. Now, that's not coming from physical love, but it's an expression in a physical way, but of Avyakt love. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I felt from
It
that.
does make sense because as you talk, yeah, Sister Moni, as you're talking, I'm also thinking about that special love that I would call Abyak love that existed among the daddies that created this bond of unity in such a very special way. For me personally, I have seen it with Daddy Janki, with Daddy G, with Didi. When the three of them were, and of course Daddy Gulsar, when they were together, there was this kind of unbreakable love, that steady love, the love that held the whole Yankee together. And I'm just wondering if you want to talk a little bit about that love, that Abyak love that existed among the equals of the daddies.
And that's a very beautiful example. And I'm reminded of seeing them so happy together, so joyful, and because it's all of them love for Baba in their hearts, and that love which is coming from each other is also Baba's love. And Baba's love definitely is a Vyakti love, isn't it? So it's not love because I love Dadi or they said to each other, I love, but they all loved Baba. Not only that, but because their connection with Baba, link with Baba, was so consistent that some or other they felt whatever they felt, for yagya or whatever, it was very common in the sense of they all will agree to each other. There was a lot of acceptance of each other. They never, at least with three of them, I can say they never had compared that Dadi is like this or Dadi Gulzar is like that. Everyone has a special part to play. They will say, no, Didi Didi Manmohini, I remember, and then Dadi Janki, they used to appreciate Dadi Gulzar's role so much and respect her in that way. And they respected Dadi Prakashmani's specialities. So it's, I think, as you said, that kind of harmony, that kind of love amongst the instruments, was definitely sustaining yagya and keeping yagya free from obstacles. Because, if one is a king or emperor, and okay, you are honest, you are all that, but if anything wrong is happening under you, you know you you can't be called a good king, no, even if you are honest. But with their honesty, everything was honest in the sense of duty, economically, in relationship, in purity. There was that power of sustenance, as you said, which start missing when the leadership of anywhere is not just Madhuban, but any center, if that Avyakti love amongst instruments, I think this topic has to be really talked more and explored, because that will sustain and give power to all the Brahmin family.
But Sister Mohini, this Avyakt love, and this is my last question on Avyakt love, because I have two other ones that I really want you to go into with you. This Avyakti Parivar that has been created, that keep attracting people. I mean, today there are like 600 people on this call, and usually there's 700, 800, who knows. But I think there's been a large amount of people coming on every single evening since March. And you have called it the Avyakti Parivar. So do you think that Baba is using you? And I know it may be too subjective a question for you, but play along with me. Do you think that Baba is using you as an instrument to demonstrate this Avyakt love as the attraction that will draw people ultimately to get closer to Baba, and he's using you as an instrument to show us this?
I think that what you're saying is really needs more thinking, and that how a few years ago, since few years, there was a small group of 8 mothers. So they used to read Murli amongst themselves, and then Thursday morning, they will call me after Bhog to hear the message. Then they will ask me questions, and I said, when that was like lot more for me, in that time consuming. So I said, I have one the other sister, Bhumi, she will help you to answer your questions. And little by little, it grew. And then they became like all couples. They were 18 couples. So then they wanted the name, and I said somewhere Avyakti group or Parivar came. But what you're saying actually is really something to think about. That Janki, in January we had started chatting little bit after 7:30, and when Dadi Janki became Avyakt, I said offer book for 13 days, and then something came up. No, let's continue, and all the things were happening that we made offer of Zoom to every country, every main center in the region, and then suddenly lockdown happened, so it became very very useful. And yeah, it's like a Vyakti word itself. And then also, like internally, even now I say, even I come to know numbers or who comes, doesn't come. I said, even if 5, 10 isolated souls, even 10 old mothers, even 10 sick people can take benefit, I will continue. Doesn't matter how many. So I think it's coming from my, lot of love for especially those who can be sustained, who can take benefit. When I saw some Caribbean islands so far, just one sister sitting, one student there. So it's just like, internally, until now, my feelings are I want to go beyond, in the sense of who comes, doesn't come, how many come. Even every day on live YouTube, there are few hundreds, and weekends are little less because there are retreats and programs, all that. So, as I'm saying, even I come to know external factors, but internally, when I see many, many souls, old ones, and most of them are, some are connected, like main instruments come, but some are not even connected with centers. They don't know centers are very far. So it must be Baba's plan, and only I can say in my heart what my feelings are. And as you know, that few months I couldn't do much physically or travel. So what I felt like Baba is making me feel, it's okay, you served, and kind of fulfillment inside, but also helping Lord to be on journey of remembrance more and more.
Is going to be in any way how the Avyakt, that final stage of the Avyakt, Baba's revelation with our Avyakt stage will be taking place at the end. If Baba says, and he says it in the 69 Murlis, that at the end, people will be seeing Baba. Baba will be revealed, and people won't be seeing us. They will just be seeing God through us. And so I was wondering whether at the end, the Avyakt stage will be something that will manifest in this way. Now, I know I'm asking you to talk about something that maybe requires a little bit of visioning, but what will that final stage be like to reveal Baba, Avyakt Bapdada?
When people saw Brahma Baba, and while seeing him, they were seeing Sri Krishna, and so something like that, in the sense of it's our awake stage and Baba's light. Like many, many times I feel and I try and I do it, that in our Baba's room, we have Baba's light through Brahma Baba. The way Baba is sitting, Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba. This is what I feel, that when we become aware, then Shiv Baba, same way they use is. So because generally what people would want to see, light. And when they see light, they feel they have seen God. Or what people want to experience sometimes is contact or response from angels. So that means our body will be body of light. So light and angelic stage are the two forms which people will see through us. They won't see the body, they won't see who this one is, but I have seen light. And naturally, then it is through us, no? How will they see? Because Baba says if they only see point of light, they won't recognize. But when they can see through us, then we'll say, oh, I saw the light of the God, or I saw angel. So these two forms, I think, but also for those who are devotees, they might see the form of goddesses, gods, like Baba talks of worship worthy form. So worship worthy form not from corporate, but it will be here. Because I had been experiencing since yesterday that eternal is bringing Adi. Like eternal is creating in me original. And original is which becomes worship worthy. I am seeing emerging because when I practice, since yesterday, I'm very much kind of, when I realize this, I'm paying more attention to experience eternal into original, then original as worship worthy. So I think when our stage is completely free internally with any thoughts, whether it's expectation, desires, or anything, then Baba will be able to really be revealed through us, can use us properly. That means just go beyond everything. I call that now unlimited stage. That means you are so unlimited. Everything is Baba's. We all belong to Baba. Baba's. All children are Baba's. Not I and mine, even subtle I and mine. Because this is the time really to go unlimited for everything. And then you see how Baba's magic happens. So it will be happening. We are getting ready.
Thank you, Sister Mohini. I hope we get ready in the right way. And I hope we will always, be making those efforts that you have just described. Because I will share one experience with you before, I conclude tonight. And that is, Daddy Janki once said to me that I'm a soul who if I understand something, there's no stopping me. I will go all the way. But just understanding something and doing it will bring me success. But she says that if you want victory, then you'll be able to understand her feelings. You will be able to understand Baba's, that bhavana, that love, that Avyakt love. And so why I ask you these questions is because many of us may be looking at success in service, but I think ultimate victory will come from attaining that Avyakt stage through that Avyakt love, which is way beyond just that understanding of Gyan as Gyan, but really bringing Gyan to that level of making it a form of Avyakt love that would lead us to victory. And so thank you for the answers, but I was also very fascinated by your experiences with Mama using the body and how maybe by just her using your body, a lot of her characteristics got inculcated by you, that maybe today you're playing a role with the ancestors and you're drawing on their Avyakt stages and their Parishta Swarup to serve the world. So thank you, Sister Mohini.
No, I agree. These days, I lot feel that each ancestor soul is giving one blessing. And, we just have to be ready and they will also use us as instruments. Anyway, you're making me think more about what you're saying, Avyakti love and whatever it is. But I have this hobby or whatever that I practice, understand, but then practice. I had been telling everyone, don't keep listening, listening, listening. I don't like to listen anything these days because whatever is there, I want to practice it. And then new insights and new experiences come. And that's for then I share. Thank you, Gayatri Ben. Thank you for kind of, as I said, helping me to regain the memory, Simriti of many, many things. Thank you. Om Shanti. Good night.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much, Gayatri Ben. You dig the treasure for us. So we all give you a big clap, one hand clap. Everyone, please thank you, Gayatri Ben. Thanks, sir. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bana? Let's remember Baba. Take Drishti from Baba.